So I typically use 4 different tools on the feet. I use a clipper on the bottom, not necessary, I just prefer it. It's faster and I'm used to it. And these are tiny little straight scissors. I have them from when I did springers. I only use them in one particular area, so totally, again, not needed, but it's something that I have. Your thinning shears, bulk of the work will be done with the thinning shears. And then a curved scissor. You can use a straight scissor as well, but a curved scissor makes it much easier to go around the foot. So what I start with is I start with the bottom of the foot. I use a 40 blade, which is a surgical blade, or if you have a 5-in-1, it's on the shortest blade. Some people do it with just a regular 10 blade, and that's fine too. And then all I do is clip the bottom so that I don't have to scissor the bottom, because I'm just more confident and comfortable this way, which I already did on him, so that doesn't need to be done. The next thing is you're going to want to go just around the exact bottom of the foot with the curved scissor. This is the only place you use the curved scissor, and you're going to get all the loose stuff around the edges. Anywhere you can see. What I like to do with him is I just pick up the other paw, so that keeps the paw I'm working on planted on the floor. As you can see, there's not a whole lot done with straight scissors or curved scissors at all. Most everything is done with thinning shears. As for the back, try putting this over here, see if you can see better. You're going to want to brush the hair on the back of the leg straight down, not super tight, but just straight down, gently held at the bottom. And then you're going to take and you're going to cut everything from the big pad off. That kind of gives you a place to start on trimming your feathering. So trim that all even with that big pad. Then you're also going to trim the sides here to match. Quarter, stop. Sorry, this isn't the position he's normally used to having this trimmed in. Then you can use the curved scissor, or I use my little straight scissor here. I pick up the foot and I just make sure that I'm right to the edge of the toenails at the top, and I take this in between the pads and the toenails. To get all those loose stray hairs off the bottom of the foot and from in between the toenails. Again, you can also do this with your curved scissor, but I have these and I prefer them, so that's what I do. Then you will take your thinning shear and you'll trim all the extra fluffies. I like to kind of try and keep it, if you keep the blade in contact with the ground, with the table, you definitely know you can't take off too much. So when I'm doing the bulk, I do it with one of the blades always in contact with the ground, so I know I'm not taking off too much. Some people like the look of the toenails being exposed. That is up to you. I like it on some dogs. I don't on Porter because he has very white, very straight hair on his feet. My other setters, I kept the nails exposed because they had all orange fur on their feet and it was super wavy. And I could make a much cleaner looking foot by leaving the toenails exposed. Again, that is preference. So you'll see that there's a whole bunch of hair that comes up from in between. So what you can do, some people use their fingers. I like to use a little slicker, and you can brush that backwards. So it's just a little puffy. And then I just rub it down a little bit so it's not super, super puffy. And then go ahead and go over your foot again. So thinning shears take longer, but they're gonna leave a nice, pretty, non-chopped look to them. Here I'm just kind of getting all the fur kind of mushed up a little bit because he had his bath yesterday, but it's been raining all day today. So you get these big wings. You can just go ahead and take those off. Notice how I'm keeping everything with the one blade of my thinning shear touching the ground. So that way I know I'm not going too far up into his toe. This way, I'll come at it from above, straight. The big tuft on between the two middle toes on the foot, you'll have to go from above. You won't be in contact with the ground. That's just the nature of the length of the foot. You're looking for a nice, tight, circular foot, not a long hair foot. So you want a nice, tight, they call it cat feet, right? If you think about what your little kitty looks like with the nice little tight feet, little round toes, not long, skinny toes. Once they have a lot of hair on their legs, you're going to want the angle of the hair on the back to match and come to about the end of the depth of the hair on their top line. And you'll keep more hair when you're at indoor shows, but less hair when you're doing an outdoor show, because the grass will make the legs look shorter. He's a little antsy because we had agility class and he didn't get a walk today because it's been pouring rain all day. So after I go through with my thinning shears, I'll go through again with my scissor just to make sure now I can see everything and make sure all the hair is up off the ground. There's nothing sticking out. Then they have this lovely, I don't know if Melissa takes off dew claws or not. In the case of a dog with no dew claws, this is how you would trim those. They got the nice little tuft here. I'm gonna brush it because it was wet and it's all. Want to make sure when you're grooming feet or anytime you're using your thinning shears, it's only ever on a clean dog. You never ever want to put scissors or your thinning shears on a dirty dog, which you probably remember from the Maltese, but good reminder. So now all I'm going to do is, it's hard. You just got to kind of find what angle works best for you. Watching a couple people do it, it shows may help to see what different angles are. I come in from behind, and you're just going to take that whole tuft from the dew claw off. But you're going to use the thinning shears so that it's not choppy. And then you can take your brush, brush it up, brush it back down, see if there's any loose hairs, and take those again. And then repeat on all 4 feet, and I will show you some before and afters of his feet.